Hello everyone and welcome to my video. I'm really glad you stopped by. Today I want to talk a bit about productivity and my laptop setup, the tools and software I use every day for school, programming and even gaming. Before we start, I want to make one thing clear. This is just my personal setup. It works great for me, but that doesn't mean it will be perfect for everyone. In fact, it shouldn't be perfect for everyone because I think every person needs a different configuration to reach maximum productivity and a great workflow. The goal of this video isn't to tell you what you have to use. Maybe you'll just find a small idea or two that inspires you to improve your own setup. And of course, maybe you've already reached maximum productivity. But just in case you haven't, let's get into it. The first thing you should always think about is your working environment. What are you actually going to use your device for? I'm currently doing an apprenticeship in software development and I also attend vocational school. That means I spend a lot of time programming, writing documentation and working with different kinds of software. But I also have regular school subjects where I simply need a reliable laptop for note taking and research. Our school gave us specific hardware requirements. The laptop had to be a convertible device with a touchscreen. That already narrowed down the options quite a bit. So once you know your requirements, you can start choosing the right device and accessories. Let's start with the most important part, the laptop itself. I choose the Asus ROG Flow X16. Now I know what you might be thinking, isn't this a gaming laptop? And yes, it is. At first glance, that might not seem like the most school-friendly choice, but let me explain. Laptops are expensive, and instead of buying a mid-range school laptop and then later building a powerful desktop PC for gaming and development at home, I decided to combine both worlds. I invested in one strong machine that can handle everything: schoolwork, programming, creative tasks and gaming. That way everything is always in one place. No syncing between devices, no switching environments. That alone improves productivity because you can instantly move between tasks. The Flow X16 has a beautiful 2K 16:10 240Hz touchscreen display, which is fantastic for working. It's a convertible, so you can fold it into tablet mode for note taking. It also includes HDMI, Thunderbolt, 2 USB-A ports and an SD card reader, so connectivity is not an issue. Another nice detail, I can charge it either with the large power brick or via Thunderbolt. That means I don't have to carry the huge charger to school every day. Inside it has an Nvidia RTX 4060 with a 13th gen Intel Core i9-3900H. That makes compiling code fast and of course allows for gaming when I want to relax. In school, I can disable the dedicated GPU to improve battery life and reduce noise. The laptop is the foundation of your productive setup. It needs to match your needs and your budget, but hardware alone isn't enough. So let's talk about accessories. A mouse is absolutely essential. You can work with a trackpad, but let's be honest, it's just not the same. A good wireless mouse makes everything faster and more comfortable. I prefer using one with either Bluetooth or a USB dongle, so there is no cable clutter on the desk. Since my laptop has a touchscreen, I also use a stylus, the Asus Pen 2.0. It allows me to take handwritten notes directly from the screen. For school, I still carry a pencil case with normal pens and a notebook because sometimes writing on paper is simply easier. And of course, everything goes into a backpack with a proper laptop compartment. Simple but important. Now we have the physical setup ready, but software plays an equally important role in productivity. The operating system is always a controversial topic. Some people think it says everything about you. Windows is for normal people. macOS is for designers or people deep into the Apple ecosystem. Linux users are the programmers who only see daylight when they walk from the bus to the classroom. But honestly, everyone should use what makes them happy. Every system has strengths and weaknesses. It's about what fits your workflow. Because I am a programmer, I created a dual boot setup. My laptop has a 1TB SSD with Windows installed. I mainly keep Windows as a backup system for specific software, for example game development with Unreal Engine. If school requires a certain program, I can install it there without worrying about compatibility. However, I personally find Windows less productive. Updates interrupt work, the system can feel slow at times, the file explorer isn't the fastest, and gaming laptops tend to lose battery quickly on Windows. There is also notifications and pre-installed apps that constantly try to grab your attention. So I decided to install Linux on a second 2TB SSD. I'm using CashOS, which is based on Arch Linux. While it's marketed toward performance and gaming, it works perfectly for productivity as well. The system feels incredibly fast and lightweight, the package manager is quick, and the overall experience is very clean and minimal. For the desktop environment, I use KDE Plasma. It feels somewhat similar to Windows, but it's far more customizable. You can just adjust everything visually without installing extra tools or editing system files. It's like building your desktop with Lego blocks. You could create a top panel, customize shortcuts, and arrange everything so you can access your most important tools instantly. That level of control really helps me to stay focused. Here we are on my desktop. It looks a little bit different from the last time because I actually changed all the theming to optimize it for productivity and give it this clean and simple look. Most of the heavy lifting is done by the Graphite Dark theme I downloaded from the KDE store. With that, everything gets this flat look with the white borders around them, so you can really see everything, and the whole desktop is just very decluttered and it don't has any distractions on it. One important point is that I installed yet another monochrome icon set because the default graphite icons are a bit too colorful and they don't really fit the whole clean vibe I want to go for with this theme. For productivity, you need a web browser because most of the work is done in the internet nowadays. So I just have Brave installed as my main working browser with all my school bookmarks at the top right here. Why Brave? Because Brave comes with a great ad blocker out of the box, which just removes all the annoying pop-ups and attention grabbing ads on the internet, so you can really go and find your solutions or read your articles without getting distracted by constant blare of those ads which are dotted on every site nowadays. Also, like if you just want to take a quick look at a YouTube video, you don't have to sit through 2 unskippable ads. I know Brave is a bit cluttered at the beginning, but you can just remove all of the unnecessary icons by right clicking on them, and at the setup you can also opt out of a lot of features you don't really need. Waterfox is here my main browser for at home if I just want to watch some simple YouTube videos or take some notes on the Google Docs. Waterfox is just Firefox but without all the unnecessary features Firefox adds and with a bit more privacy. It's also equipped with the uBlock Origin extension, so you don't have to sit through any ads if you're using Waterfox. Then one very important program as a developer is Docker. Because with Docker you can just run your programs inside of a container, so you don't really have to install them. That's very useful if you like in school and you have to download a program to learn and work with it, but you don't really need that program at home, so you just run it in a Docker container, and if you don't need it anymore you can just delete that Docker container. That's why you also see like 3 or 4 MongoDB containers, because I really try to get MongoDB running running, and with that I don't have any problems and it's really easy to set up. But the most important application for productivity is one of the classics called Obsidian, because this is just a clean and simple note-taking markdown editor where you can just write all of your notes and learn for exams and get your information together all in one place. Like you can see, I have everything organized for every subject we have at school. Also with the Excalidraw plugin I can also take handwritten notes with my pencil, because that was a very important point. If I already bought this expensive pencil, I also want to use it, and this plugin is surprisingly one of the most powerful drawing plugins for note taking on all of Linux. So now you saw the most important apps for productivity, but maybe this is too boring for you. Like, this desktop is just so optimized for productivity, you don't have any fun, any colors, and everything is just clean and gray, and that's great for working if you don't want to have any distractions and just get into a flow state. But sometimes you need also just to relax, take a break, or just hang out with friends. That's why you also have this games tab right here. You can play some games, and CashOS is really optimized for games, and it comes also with a little package that you can install to get all the different dependencies for gaming, and also Steam directly installed on your system. And with that I installed some cool multiplayer but also some cool single player games if I want to relax and be on my own, and all the work for today is done. And yeah, that was a little view into my setup I use every day for work and for school. And that's it for today. I hope this gave you a good insight into my slightly unusual productivity setup. Maybe you found something useful you can apply to your own workspace. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a very productive but also relaxed rest of your day. See you in the next video.